Hello, this is Robert from NotScaredAlwaysPrepared.com, and today I wanted to show you this harvest rate. We got the medium home freeze dryer on my website, NotScaredAlwaysPrepared.com. I have a full review that I did on there. I just wanted to do a quick video so you could see it in person and see what this thing's all about. Um, yeah, so right now we have it down here in our storage slash family slash workout down in our basement area, and it's worked out really good. One thing I have people ask is about the noise. It's not real loud. When we have it down here in the basement, we don't even hear it running, and our living room's only 5 or 6 steps away from here. So and sleeping at night, all that kind of stuff, I don't hear it running at all. But I definitely wouldn't put it in your living room or your kitchen or any of those places if it's around where you're going to be all the time. That might get pretty annoying. Um, First thing we can look at here is we've got the touch screen. I'll zoom it up here a little bit so we can see it a little better. There we go. So we got the touch screen here. If I hit start, it's going to turn this thing on. You can kind of hear the motor running there a little bit. And that's just the motor that's going to cool it down. When it gets down to the right temperature, this will pop up and it'll tell you it's okay to put your food in there. When you do that, grab one of your trays, load your stuff in, and then you can slide them in there. I'll go ahead and turn that off there. And got the tape measure out here just so I can show you. Let's back this up here again. I'll kind of show you the length of the trays here. Yeah, just about 18 inches by about 7.5. And then the medium, you get 4 of these trays. The small, you get 3, and then all the way up to the extra large where you get 8. So I think if I had to do this again, I would probably go with the extra large for our family, just to be able to do the double amount of food in the same amount of time. But anyway, so this touch screen, like I said, that's so you would hit start and it would walk you through the prompts. And then once it gets into the actual drying, it will have a little loading bar on there, kind of like on your computer, and that will show you how much time you have left. The only downside to that, and I hope they change it in the future, is it doesn't give you an actual time. It just shows you how much of the bar is left. So it's kind of hard to plan when it's actually going to be done. So like if I'm at work or I'm not going to be home at that time, it would make it a lot easier to have an actual countdown time to plan it out. So that's my only complaint about that. We got this large plexiglass door here. And then what you do is you just slide your trays in there, close your door up, make sure it's good and sealed. You always want to make sure that seal is clean and that there's good contact there. So it'll do what it's supposed to do. I'm going to cut to the side here so we can show you it from the side. All right, so here we are on the side of this machine. You can see here, down here, you got your drain. So what you do is it'll tell you on the prompts, but you close that drain when you're running your machine. And then at the end, if you need to do a defrost, you'll open that, and then we just got a bucket that it drains into. Once that fills up, we'll go pour it outside. Also wanted to give you just a little idea the dimensions of this thing. So it's a little over 21 deep, about 18 wide, and the height maybe And it's about 28.5. So that's the medium. So just to give you a general idea of how much room that'll take up for you. Over here, we've got the pump. And I'll show you a little bit closer to that here in a second. Then it also comes with this neat little accessory. Basically, let me unclamp this here, making it harder than it looks. So basically, this is for your Mylar bags, and what you'll do is plug this in. It'll heat up, and then you can put your Mylar bag across there, seal it. It'll beep and tell you it's done, and pretty easy process. Makes it nice for your bags. Put this back on here. I'm going to get a little closer for the pump so you can see what's going on here. Here's the front of the pump. You can see there, here's your oil indicator. And all you do is just unscrew this, put your oil in, and it'll show you when to stop there. Usually keep it about middle. But and then if you need to drain it out or when it's time to change it, this little silver ring here, you just undo it and then it drains out from the bottom. So what I've been doing is just keeping these oil jugs, just keep the ones that you've already used. You can put it right back in there. I do know of people that strain it and reuse it, so that's a possibility that you can do. And then back behind the machine here, this is where your pump plugs in. So it's nice. You only have one cord going into your outlet. The pump actually plugs into the machine. Got your on and off switch back there. And got your good old oxygen absorbers, which I bought some more there. And then I wanted to show you too, just kind of some of the fruits of our labor. You can see some of this on the website too. This is actually ground up spinach, and it works out really nice because we freeze dried the spinach and then we blended it up and we keep it in these nice mason jars. And what we do, my wife does a lot, is she mixes it into the kids' food and they don't even know it's in there. So then they can get some greens without knowing they're getting them. And then these are actually freeze dried eggs. And what we did is we just freeze dried them raw. Then we threw those in the blender too, and then put them in the mason jars. And believe it or not, we've got 24 eggs in here. So this is a wide mouth jar. We got 24 eggs in there that we can reconstitute and eat, and it'd be nice. We have a whole case of them set up in there, so be good for when we need them. All right, so yeah, that's just a quick overview of this medium harvest right freeze dryer. So far we've done eggs, strawberries, blackberries, pineapple, and spinach. We did the most of eggs just because it's a cheap protein, and we've got a whole case of those that we can bring out at any time, and you can mix them in different things. Some of the different questions that I've seen is one, electricity use. And for us in particular, I was curious how much it was going to use. We used it for probably 3 weeks out of the entire month, and our electric bill maybe went up $20. So it was nothing compared to going out and buying all the different freeze dried foods. One of the things I do want to mention though is it is work. It's not something where you just are hands off. And if that's something you're looking for, then I would go the pre-made freeze dry foods. There's tons of companies out there. There's some on my website that I've reviewed, but there is work involved in this. You got to prepare the food. You got to plan out when it's going to be done. Once you take it out, you've got to package it either in Mylar bags or the mason jars like I showed you. And then like with the eggs, we had to mix them all up before we put them in there. And then you've got all the eggshells, you have to clean all that stuff. So it's definitely not hands off, but it is worth it, especially if you have a garden or chickens or somewhere where you're getting a lot of stuff for cheap that you can freeze dry. And it does help if you have other people that are on board with it. You can make it a family activity. My youngest liked to help me put stuff in and clean, and my wife helped too, so that helps a lot. So it just all kind of depends on your situation, but I wanted to put that out there because it isn't definitely not a cheap investment, but if you plan on using it a lot, it'll definitely pay off. Because I figured out, like with the eggs that I had in there, um, I have a whole case full of them, and I was able to do it for $80, and that's buying the eggs, electricity, and everything. It was about $80 for those eggs, and if I were to go buy those online, it would be about $700 to $800. So it definitely pays off, but like I said, there's definitely work involved. So that's something to consider before you make this purchase. If there's anything else I can answer for you, just leave a question in the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put a link down in the description that takes you to the full review on my website. And if you're watching this on my website, then you can click any of the links in the actual article, and that'll take you to the Harvest Right site and tell you a little bit more about the product. So I hope you enjoyed this and hope it was informative and helped you make a good decision on whether this is for you or not.